And we are live on LinkedIn Live. I'm your host, Megan Van Petten. I'm with the Esports Trade Association, and a big hello from Chicago. Hi, everybody. We're live.
How we doing?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. How many of you is this your first event live? Oh my gosh, so fun. Maybe we should take a photo. Does everyone want to smile? 1, 2, 3. Nothing like getting the work out of the way first. So we'll just start the show with what this is about. We are celebrating our members and want to share what's going on in your city, your chapter, your state. And I'm going to go from left to right. But before we get started, we just want to thank Johanna, who keeps everything happening here behind the scenes and in front of the scenes at Esports Trade Association. Thank you, Johanna. Welcome to the show.
Thank
you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. And with that being said, if everybody can see what I see, Peter is first to my right. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Megan. Welcome, everyone. So my name is Peter Dobrev, and I am the new chair of the Esports Management Program at Stockton University. So this is an academic program that we started in fall 23, so this is our second year. And on top of that, Stockton has a very well-developed esports club scene, and we do host a lot of esports events. And just wanted to briefly just talk about what our program is like. And in fact, many schools have already started their own academic esports programs. Many schools are in the process of developing their own programs. So this is definitely one of the kind of hot new degrees out there, at least in the US. So what makes our program unique, I would say, is that on top of having an internship requirement, we also have an additional 156 hours of what we call professional work experience. And some of that, specifically 75 hours of that, can be as a player, right? You can play, but the rest has to be in any other roles that will allow you to experience essentially all the work necessary to make an event happen. So that is probably something that is unique to our program. On top of that, we also do have two, essentially programming 1 and 2 as part of our core requirements for the program, which is not really common. We do, however, wanted to incorporate these two classes because we do want to give our students actual technical skills that will make them competitive on the job market. Because there is a concern, one of the issues that not only us but anybody else who develop an academic program in esports is to convince not just the students but also their parents, right? How are you going to get a job with this? How is this going to be useful? And doing a degree in esports does not necessarily mean that you will have to go into an esports, directly related esports field, right? So the skills you're going to develop as an esports management major can help you get a job in marketing, management, even programming, if that's something that you would enjoy, event management, etc. So there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of transferable skills, and it's not just about playing games, and that's an important thing to note.
Well, I've been there and worked with some of your students. You have an academic membership, which it's so smart. They have students, all the professors, and everybody in their program part of the Esports Trade Association. So it's just so fun to have everything that Stockton brings to the nation. And you're right there with the Esports Center on the boardwalk. It's definitely a stop if you're in the area. So thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions? No.
How long has the esports program been around, and is it a varsity program?
So there's two separate things. So we have an academic program that just started with our first batch of students in fall 23. So that's our second year of the degree. And then we have a separate club scene that is in fact separate from the academic program. Have several clubs in a varsity program that anybody at the school, any student can participate in if they're interested.
Very good.
Could I also ask how do you see the, let's say, growing of the competitive trainings? It's really clear how we could combine the classical education and knowledge with like esports as an additional profession. But if somebody want to be, let's say, competitive player or like all this stuff, how do you see this combination?
So you can still be a player, right, if you are passionate about that, but the program is not really preparing professional players, and we are making kind of that clear because anybody can play, right? So you don't have to get a degree to be a player, but you can still play, and you might enjoy also just the kind of the business aspect of it or the event management aspect of it. And this is really what this program is designed to do, right? So there's those who want to play, and then there's the other group of people who have to make sure that you can organize an event, all the broadcasting, all the production that's necessary to make the event happen. And so that is who this program is catered to.
Okay, and if it's looking from the angle of who should train the, let's say, competitive players, because anyway as a classical is a esport the same sport, because you need to be trained, you need to work on your skills, reaction, teamwork, all the stuff which are really like some tactic stuff, some attention points. It's what kind of, let's say, of the, I don't know, school, institution, university, or just or that like only like private team could do? Is it could be, let's say, this competitive sport education, could it be combined with like classical one? Do you have any branch which you could think could fit for that? Because I just why ask, because my curiosity is regarding how this Olympic movement will be going, and how the countries will be elect the let's say potential team and member for the Olympic competition. Because for the classical sport we have also like a pyramids for the sources, the talents, kids school, and go. For the esport, I just see like some amateur players and just, let's say, professional teams. And education, it's not really involved, or I miss something. That's why I'm asking this, your perception or your vision regarding this.
So again, I'm not 100% sure if I understood what you meant, but again, there's basically two different sides to this. So there's the competitive side of which I'm not very involved in and not 100% familiar with everything that's going on there. And then there's the academic side, which is really a business degree that is designed to help essentially make esports events happen. And you can choose what role you're interested in and kind of focus on that. So it's really separate from the playing aspect. And we have a separate kind of club scene that is kind of really separate from this academic side. So I don't know if that answered your question.
No, that's answer my question, but I'm just curious. Is it anybody who really care from the academic perspective on the competitive part? Because to be really professional, you need to have the same academic approach to grow the skills, to build the reaction, to know the tactics, to do like because it's like is a really professional approach. I just asking, is it anybody who really focus on the second part, not on the academic, but like the business one, but for the competitive, how to create this like the players, how to increase the skills, how to make them really strong, how that grow them. That's why I'm asking, because I see I understand academic approach and business wise, but I just try to understand. Okay, Is it anything from the education of the competitive players?
And one thing, just to jump in, people are answering your questions here on the comments. So Sergey, by the way, it's really nice to see you. And thank you
My
for
pleasure,
joining
Megan.
us. For those of you that were at Esports Next, Sergey really helped the Coca-Cola experience, their gaming house running, and all sorts of the days and nights. There he was, always in there at the end of every night when we do Esports Next. I always have my team take photos before they leave just so we could see how the rooms were left. And there was Sergey every day, still there in the Coca-Cola gaming house. But let's pause that question if everybody doesn't mind. I just want to make sure we get the introductions done, and then we'll come back to that great topic. And I think, Sergey, it might even end up being its own LinkedIn Live topic. It sounds like we could really get a lot of traction and help a lot of people with those questions. So if we could just pause that and come back, if you don't mind.
Of course, of course.
Okay, so as we just go along, I'm going to go to my right, and it's a 2-for-1 super deal. It's Igor and Camille right here from the state of Illinois, and they are just the friendliest neighbors to the Esports Trade Association we could ever have. And Igor and Camille, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Megan.
So we'd love to hear what's going on in the state of Illinois.
Hi, so my name is Igor. I work with Camille, and we're on the DuPage Sports Commission side. For those of you who are not familiar with convention visitors bureaus or sports commissions, we're nonprofit organizations that, in a sense, market the city or your specific area. For us, it's DuPage County. That's just west of Chicago. We promote that our area in sports tourism. So majority of what we do is actually in the traditional sports space. But we have also started being involved in the esports space. So we actually launched we're a 501c3 organization, and our funding comes partially from the state and then partially from other avenues. But as a 501c3, like, we have some other things that we can do that a sports commission can do, or other sports commissions do around the country, versus 501c6, which is our CVB. So our CVB, DuPage CVB, Convention Visitors Bureau, is our parent company. So we actually we host a number of esports events throughout the year. Majority of these events are on like a smaller to mid-sized scale, just based on the venues that we have. We don't have a large facility like Arlington, Texas does, that's 100,000 square feet dedicated to esports. We don't have a convention center. So based on like what we're able to do, it's a little bit more on a smaller scale, but we have a great venue, Scrims Esports Center, that hosts events throughout the year, and then we partner with Scrims and when they bring in certain events, and then we work with several other organizations who host larger scale events within our hotel ballrooms, for example. So, and then lastly, we launched our own esports event earlier this year. We hosted it at the end of February earlier this year. The Midwest it's the Midwest Esports Invitational. It's a collegiate-based event. That's the primary focus, and then we've added activations and open tournaments to support that and to, in a sense, complement that. So we're in the process of planning and actually launching officially our event for next year. It's going to be at the end of February, early March again next year. We're looking to bring in more collegiate teams into the competition. We had 28 teams compete earlier this year from 20 different schools in 8 different states. All 8 states were from the Midwest, so every single state that, in a sense, circles the state of Illinois. We had at least one school come and represent. We had several schools who were technically from the Big Ten Conference. We had some Big East schools, etc. I know these are the conferences I'm giving are like sports-related conferences. I'm still in the process of learning where that falls into place. And most of these schools are part of MACE. There's the NECC. There's several other esports conferences as well. But that's the premise of our event. And so we're just adding several other educational sessions, some other additional activations, trying to bring in more teams compete. We competed in Overwatch, Valorant, and Smash Ultimate or the 3 titles we had earlier this year. We're adding Rocket League to that for next year, and just kind of expanding our event. But we have a few different activations that we didn't have earlier this year, next year, and I think it's going to be the goal is to support collegiate esports and bridge, and as well as high school, and then bridge the gap between the two so people can take advantage of both in a sense. That's really what our event's about. Camille, do you have? Would you like to add anything else to that?
No, I think you kind of covered the surface of it. Yeah, nothing to add.
Well, there must be something. There was a lot of high fives at that event. I remember stopping in. I always tell the same story. It was a Sunday, so I said to Joe, I just want to stop in like 30 minutes. And how many people have heard like just 30 minutes to stop somewhere on a Sunday? And we got so taken back that we looked at our watches. It was just so well done. They took so much pride in the lighting and there's just a lot about an event, just from A to Z. There's so much packed in, and there was just so much packed in, and there was so much done right that the experience was so refreshing and in awe. It must have been at least 5 hours before we even noticed that it was 5 hours. And it was just really well done. I loved seeing it run by the collegiate students and led by them. And my hat tips to the leadership that you guys executed from A to Z, truly. So thank you so much, Camille, for all you do for the state of Illinois and for the county of DuPage. Yeah. So, okay, moving on. Dr. Gigi was definitely wanting to make a contribution to the conversation that we're starting. So please stay at the end. She has a lot that she wants to add in. And also everybody feel free to post in the comments as well. That, really we're sharing about everything right here live. So it certainly adds a fun element that we shouldn't forget to post a comment. Welcome to the show, Dr. Gigi.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Megan. It's a pleasure. And hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Gigi, and I wear a lot of hats. I practice as an organizational psychologist. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a gaming and esports consultant. And my son is a globally ranked gamer who's actually spoke at the esports Trade Association conference, which thank you so much again, Megan, for that opportunity for him. And he plays Rocket League, by the way. So you were just talking about bringing on Rocket League as something new for DuPage. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty fascinating game. And really, one of the things that I really enjoy doing outside of just really working with organizations and helping them create programming is I also work with colleges and universities in the workforce development space and help them tap into populations that don't typically see themselves in the college arena in gaming, and helping them create programming for that so that they can get into the gaming arena. So I just wanted to say that. And thank you again for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. And programming sure is important. And it's so cool how esports overlaps in almost every program and every class possible. So that's been a fascinating experience for me personally as well. So thank you. And your son for the contribution he made at Esports Next. He moderated a really tough panel with some superstars, and he did a great job. So thank you, Dr. Gigi. Harold from the Dallas chapter. Now it's my understanding you're part of that leadership, and you're steering us along.
Yeah. But Sharon is the main part of the leadership. I'm pretty much I guess you could say the helper in helping her make sure everything goes right. Part of the Dallas chapter. So more of what I've been doing. My name's, by the way, is Harold McKinney. I also have a lot of hats that I do a lot of just about everything. I'm the owner of the Esports Drift Association. So we're pretty much a simulation drifting / racing motorsport, sim motorsport. We're currently the largest in North America. We also organize online events from the European, South America, and the Asia Pacific region. We also are looking to branch out from online to doing stuff in person. Recently, just found a partner to find a location. I guess I could give a little leak to Megan that I likely will be back in Chicago next year. And we're planning to help run a first ever sim racing expo. So aside from that, aside from the main business, I also I'm work as an event lead with Corey Dunn at Optic Gaming. Um, I know Iger mentioned something about the esports stadium. So yeah, I've worked out of that place many a times, helping them work events from the Call of Duty major, Halo majors, and all of that. And I guess the third thing I do is I also help. I'm helping Sharon help manage the Dallas chapter. So we're in works of making a end of the year party, and we're working on a location for that.
Right on. I remember I've been to events for decades, and when I see something very unusual or I feel something very unusual, I love to point it out, especially just great news. But at that event in particular, I I didn't know who Corey was, and I was walking through the stadium and I was noticing the team, and I was getting a little tour, and I literally said, "Who is that guy? This is one of the best production back behind the house I've ever seen." And it was Corey, and he's very special. Yeah, he does it. He runs a really nice production, and it's a wonderful stadium. Thank you for all you do, and I'm really looking forward to hear about this this activation in Chicago. Sweet home Chicago.
Yeah. And I think his name's Jorge. I'm pretty sure he's part. I think he's a member of ESTA. So
Okay, good.
but I've been talking with him, and he's based out of Chicago, and so he's in the works of getting that started, and I'm trying to help him gather all the sim racing people, drifting people, just everybody from motorsports to try to get to come up to Chicago for the event next year. So yeah, I hopefully be there next year, and hopefully be there again for next year's esports next as well. So I'm likely going to be up there twice next year.
Do we know what county your event will be in, Harold? I'm just asking for a friend.
I think from what I had talks with him, it's probably going to be directly in Chicago. I'm not for sure which part of Chicago, if it's
Okay.
north part or the east or west part, but I do know it's in Chicago.
Well, yeah, keep us posted. Having an event is simple, and we have a link that we can put right here in the chat. When you have an event, all you have to do is fill out who, what, when, where, how, why, and boom, we promote it in the LinkedIn chapter and our newsletter. So we'll go ahead and drop that in for anybody. We always love spreading the good news of the events through the nation and the world. As I speak about Sarah J, who's hailing here from where?
Today I'm from Cyprus.
Oh, I know it's somewhere different all the time.
Yeah. What it's thank you, Megan, for the warm introduction. I am Sergey. I am CEO and co-founder NSTech Software, and our major product called Senet, and we do platform for the management of the esport venues, LAN centers, any kind of, let's say, clubs, iGames, all the stuff which are exactly connected for the gaming. We're in this business more than 7 years. We are present in the 70 countries right now and work with a thousand of the customer. Right now we are do a lot of things in project in the US with the university, colleges, school districts, providing them proper software to the manage esport infrastructure, provide hybrid approach for the using the same infrastructure in the schools. As we say, on the morning time for the STEM education, in the evening for the gaming. support different kind of the activities, so reduce the efforts of the supporting team. That's what we do, and I will glad to help anybody on in the education and overall like sport to fulfill the venue with the like proper solution and our advice how to do the best way.
And he did all of the technology activation, from my understanding, for the Coca-Cola gaming houses through the nation and in Mexico City. Is that right?
Yeah. We our solution was empower Six Flags in the Mexico City.
I remember they were really happy to see you when you came to Esports Next. and every time I looked at the gaming house, there you were. So I can just attest that you were just lovely to work with. And Coca-Cola the Coca-Cola team just raved about you. So thank you for keeping that going through our event. It was such a wonderful experience.
I will be glad to continue this way and do it next time even better.
Oh, wow. And you also spoke on a panel. What did you speak about? Remind me. Was it technology and esports?
We discussed the overall esport perspective, how that should be going, and what is the challenge of the esport venues, how that's with like what is the difference between the US approach and like global approach. And one of the key takeaways that's in the US esport let's say arenas, it should be really attached to the community centers or to the schools or the education when the place when there are really people gathering together, because surviving as a separate business as is, it's a little bit complicated because people quite most of the people could afford to have a good hardware at home, and they need the idea why they need to combine together and play in the esports arena. And let's say colleges, schools, some community center could be best point of the consolidation of these people together.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. What time is it where you are?
8:30 p.m.
Oh, okay. Well, good morning.
Good. Thanks, Mega.
You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Let's see here. Last but not least, Elijah, are you last? Oh, did Corinne go? Maybe. She'll be back. Welcome to the show, Elijah, who also hailed from the Dallas chapter a few weeks ago.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, MVP. How are we?
We are good. We are good. It is. Oh, you know what? It just turned lunchtime. It feels like earlier though.
You hungry?
Good question.
No, because if you're treating, I'm ready to eat too. But I want to take up too much. My name is Elijah Davis. I am the CEO of Platinum 915. We make wellness goods products. So we're operating a life science brand. But in this scheme of everything, we're an empowerment brand. So why am I so excited to be with the Esports Trade Association? Is because I'm not here to talk about my products. It's all about leadership for me. So when I met Meg before I met her real quick, we went online, LinkedIn, and I saw they had the Coca-Cola leadership program. And I'm attracted to great things and phenomenal leaders. And that's when I applied for that. And that was about 3 months ago. So Meg, I think I'm pretty much good. I wouldn't mind being in a corporate part of the esports. Like if I'm helping out, like bringing partnerships and people together as I find my way, what we can do. And another thing with Gigi having her son, that's phenomenal. Also being a gamer, and I'm a parent of 2 sons and they've been gaming all their lives. So I'm always telling parents, I have one that walked onto the Baylor football team. So that's phenomenal with his resiliency, and he's a gamer. You are right. Here I met my other son, Elijah. He's also former military and he's a gamer. So he rides motorcycles and skydive and all that stuff. So to me, it's all about bringing joy, right? And like the premise behind Platinum 915 is more of an authenticity brand. So it means when we stay true to ourselves, use our creativity and trust in our intuition, anything is possible. And Meg is a person, one, that makes the impossible possible. So I'm just excited to be here. So I'm just ready to just help anyone out where I fit in for my soft skills, you know, and I just love going to conferences. But we are a startup brand. So I'm one of those guys that's still pushing through the resiliency. We haven't made it yet, you know, so I want entrepreneurs who are coming up like me just to keep going, giving it to y'all. Our gamers for this one, when they're looking for flow, I want them to make sure that they can keep going and we have the right people and leaders in place that can show them that when things are hard, just keep going. And you do have to put discipline, even with gaming, right? So, and the last thing I say, Meg, for people don't know, back in the day when I graduated from college, I was the #1 player for Xbox when it came to, I think it was Peyton Manning's football. So I don't think I had that for a year or two. So I am a true gamer right now, playing ECW football. And I can't wait till my son hopefully finishes making the team so he'll be on the roster so I can experience as a player and a parent to play with him on the video game. So that's everything, Meg. So I appreciate everybody. And Harold, hey, man, congratulations, bro. So excited for you too. So thank you.
Oh my gosh. It's always so great to see you. And, you know, you bring up the leadership program brought to you by Coca-Cola. What a gift that was. Elijah's part of the program. And you know what it is essentially to get your certificate, you have to do one event. And it could be this. It could be a coffee that's virtual. It could be a lunchtime hello, a member celebration. It could be physical where we go meet at a Starbucks or we go to someone else's event like Igor and Camille's, where we just talked before the show that I'm going to either do a happy hour, I'm going to host a happy hour or a coffee connection. But that's it. With what happened with COVID and just in life, people, I think they think maybe in general may think it's harder than it is to just create an event. And that's it. That was the leadership program, 12 months of gearing it up to one project that is just simply a little something just to get together with people virtually or physically. So it's so great that program caught your attention because you bring a lot of great wisdom to our program. Thank you, Elijah. I think we have class tomorrow. It's running 12. Yeah, it runs 12 times a year. And there's just a criteria. I think it's so many classes in an event I think you choose 7 or 8 classes of the 12 that would be your tracks. And then there's some independent study, but it's just an awesome program for anybody that wants to get their esports leadership certificate brought to you by Coca-Cola. So thank you. Thank you. Dr. Gigi, did you have something you wanted to say? Okay. All
Did
right.
I accidentally raise my hand?
No, it was just a look. It was just like a.
Oh, it's exciting what you're talking about. I was like, oh, I didn't know about that program. Yeah, I was just really taking the information in. It's very cool.
Yeah, so people got their certificates at Esports Next that went through the program. The first year was this year. And now we're going to automate it as well as how it's currently functioning. We're adding an automation portion due to the demand. And it's just been a wonderful program and we're expanding on it. Yeah, so that's great for you with your curriculum development. And it's like Elijah said, those soft skills. Sometimes it's like you don't even know what you don't even know. And it's like hard to teach, like, you know, not hard to teach, but the soft skills are more challenging. Like I feel like, oh, it's so easy. Do a Zoom. But there's steps to creating that we take it down a level and make it real. So, well, that's our LinkedIn Live today. We can talk about a few topics. We're here for questions. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Good.
Okay.
Let me just add, I just got finished working out in virtual reality. I love to box in there. And today I tried Zumba and I'm so hyped up because I was having so much fun and I cannot dance. But I just had the best time in Zumba. So anyway, so I'm like super excited. So if you see me all animated, it's because I'm still hyped up for my workouts.
So good. what is the motion is the potion. Yeah.
And Meg, let me add this too, for since we're still live. Like,
Sure.
Miss Meg is really like she says she is. She's authentic, she's empathetic, right? And she does really care. To build this phenomenal program that she's already built in this trade association, that's why I like being on these calls, because look at all you great leaders on here. You're doing amazing things that most people may sometimes take for granted, which I do not. You guys and your gifts are so amazing. So for me, just to get on this call or go to an organization, and I think you hit it on the nail, Meg, it is about that self-confidence that we're building, because I'm pretty much nerdy, right? I've been nerdy all my life. I just played athletics, and as an introvert, I'm still learning how to be more sociable, even though sometimes people confuse my sociable skills and intelligence as being an extrovert. But I'm very introverted, so it's built on trust. So when I'm around leaders like Meg and yourselves, it brings out so much confidence where we want to get on the Zoom call. You know, we want to start a Fort Worth chapter, you know, as I learned from the experts. And that's why I say it's so important. So if you're listening to this, definitely join the Esports Trade Association. If you're nervous, I'm nervous all the time, but this is wonderful. Everyone is supporting each other. So let's just do it. And thank you, Meg. You're just awesome.
Oh, you are too kind. Thank you very much. That's very generous of you. And I would say right back at you, my friend. It's wonderful to always have you when you stop by and tell us what you're up to. And it's very interesting. I myself don't drink alcohol. If I do, it would be very, very minimal, like a sip. Just because my schedule, like what it takes to recover from alcohol, like I don't have that time anymore. But you know, the kava and the different mixes of these natural ingredients to make you relax sometimes are really nice. Like Elijah supplies, and I've tasted a few of them. It's no different than a herbal tea that helps you sleep at night. So all of these natural wellness products just really, you know, sing to me as I try, you know, to walk a cleaner path, not have too much coffee and all sorts of things, you know. Yeah, it takes something.
Well, I'm excited to be in the wellness space, and I want to admit, like, it's all these big corporations out there that already done it, right? And they're better than us, but that's what I try to follow and improve. So when we look at the non-alcoholic movement and the younger generation, including the older generation, I'm 50, we're making that shift away from alcohol. But I respect the alcohol industry too, because I believe it's like $482 billion, and it's projected to go to $600 billion. So when you hear any reports that say it's going down, I'm not sure if that's considered going down, but it's giving everybody choices like ourselves, my son's athlete, Meg, everyone else. So say our kava gummies, which is a great way for the standard people who take kava, and it's just I don't want to call it nasty. It's just not my taste preference. I like things that taste good. So yes, Meg tried our Seraphim Keys, which is our delicious kava gummy with our Damiana leaf and about, I think it's 20 milligrams of caffeine. So it's just an alternative to drinking. It's based on a Pacific Islander drink that's over there that you can take this nice cherry flavored kava gummy and be in your flow. And that's what we're trying to make sure we get everyone in their flow state, feeling their best. Your chakras aligned, you know, you're thinking, and like I tell Meg all the time, I like being connected to the Holy Spirit. Hopefully I can say that is on this live, but I like feeling my best and believing in a higher power. So for us to make products like that can help Meg, or if someone who likes kava, or say if you just want functional mushroom like chaga, cordyceps, liamine, tegretell, and reishi. If I'm talking too much, we have that in our thoughts. Yes. So we're just trying to make sure I give all our gamers and people around the world a choice in which category. Do you want natural mushrooms? Do you want the kava where you have a little effect? You know, and of course our canna shots, which we have alluded to, which is our non-alcoholic. So it tastes like vodka. It tastes just like the rum, which we call our bourbon. And then of course, I think it's the tequila. Right. And we just put in our functional, which is a THC, which is from hemp. Right. So that's legal around in all the states. And we put just a little smidgen, enough for me, about 20 milligrams. That makes it a functional drink. And you use it just like any other stuff. Pour it in your drink. Hopefully I can get with Coca-Cola. That'd be nice too. That one of these things to throw that product in there. But it just give everybody this natural feeling where you're not drinking too much alcohol. You're connected to yourself and you're just feeling well. And that's everything is about. So I appreciate it, Meg, for that.
Yeah. We have another member that gives products of CBD, like lotions and things for the hands, for the gamers, for their overuse and their overuse Injuries. Yeah. So we have all sorts of different wellness products that are part of our Esports Next magazine and our directory. For those of you that are interested, we are doing a digital feature in December. If you have not had a feature, it's complimentary for members. So it's like, there's our directory and here's the member feature. So we can just put that also in our little comment here for you to submit, like when your event is or what you're doing or why DuPage Sports Commission, or, Sarah J, your technology, is a great educational piece. If you have not yet submitted a member feature, it will also be in our newsletter. It will also be on our website. And it's 100% complimentary. We only choose 10, and I'm not the one that chooses. So they're just, our editor of the magazine is the chooser. But please feel free to drop your member story in. I mean, that's really what it's about, is just being here, and sharing is caring. What else? Let's see. Does anybody else want anything that they would like to share, like when their event is? We do have a submission for the event, but if there's anything that our community should be watching out for.
I'll just throw one in for Kendall. He's getting ready to do a cohort of 20 people for performance improvement. It's going to be an 8-week group that he's doing, and he's just kind of helping people with, making sure that they're improving in their gaming, to get up to different levels, to get up to that professional space if they can, and just wellness overall. So that's getting ready to come out soon. So I'll have him put something in for that, if we can use that type of a platform for that.
Absolutely. We're here to share about what's coming, what's next. Feel free to post it in the comments. Are you all able to post yourselves? Do you guys see what I see?
See in the private chat?
Yeah, you're able to post there?
Yep.
Okay, great. Oh, private chat. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, so that's going to me. I'm just wondering if there's a comment. Do you guys have a comment section on your LinkedIn? Okay, good. You got it, Cam? Okay. All right. So as far as did we put the link in, Johanna, for the member feature? Okay, great. So that's a digital feature. We do a digital member feature every month, and we'll be doing a grand feature at the end of the year with 10 members. And, this directory is just a wonderful, make sure that your directory stays updated. It's just a wonderful part of your membership. We highly encourage people. Look, for example, Sarah J is not in here yet because he just joined, but you'll make it into the next feature. And this is again brought to you by Coca-Cola. So I think that's our LinkedIn Live. If anybody has anything else that you'd like to share, feel free. Otherwise, we do this once a quarter. We try to do it once a quarter based on the demand, but we thank you all for being a member. It takes a village to have a business-to-business association, and we're just so grateful to have such amazing. Oh, Alasia, you got bumped out. What happened? You're back.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. Welcome back. We were just finishing up. If anybody else has any last thoughts, any last shares, other than that, I'm going to end the stream. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you all. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.